Hi everyone, welcome to my hit series, Debate 'em All. It's been a while since we last posted one. I actually don't remember when I last posted one. The reason for that is just, there's only so many hot takes that you can, I guess, talk about with Pokemon every single week. So I might do this series just from time to time. I don't think a schedule is necessary for it. You know, having it be a weekly series, we run out of topics to talk about pretty quickly, and everything just becomes a bit samey, and I end up covering the same, I guess, hot take over and over and over again, and the videos just become the same and boring. And yeah, so I made a tweet earlier today asking for some hot takes. I've got quite a lot of them. I might actually be able to split them into 2 videos. I suppose we will just have to wait and see. But yeah, for anybody that's new to this series, this is a series where people give me their hot takes. I tell you if I agree or disagree with them, and that's essentially it. A lot of the times I tend to agree, so not much of a debate here. Series title could probably do with some reworking, but Debate 'em All. Link to the playlist if you want to watch the other ones are in the description, and thank you for your support as always. Remember to like the video. Thanks guys. I feel like this is something that I've spoke about before in these Debate 'em All episodes, but I also want to kind of, you know, because of the whole experience share controversy that's happened recently, I feel like this is something we need to talk about. People clamoring that Pokemon has lost its difficulty over the years are dumb as hell. Pokemon difficulty comes from players implemented restrictions. It's never been difficult, and the changes to newer titles only remove developer oversight from past titles. Absolutely agree with Chris here. Difficulty in Pokemon is essentially memory. Do you remember your type chart? If you remember the type chart like I do, the game isn't going to be hard. That's why some of the hardest playthroughs and most annoying playthroughs of Pokemon games I've ever done were randomizers where you randomize the opponent's types, and because you don't know what you're going up against. So to me, most difficulty in Pokemon comes from the type chart. I think that's a huge part of it, and you know, that's why Nuzlocke challenges and stuff like that, you know, people were like, okay, I'm going to run through the game with only bug types. That's why people do these sort of things. You know, if you want a challenge in Pokemon, you know, you're most likely going to have to restrict it on yourself, because it's just, I don't think it's a game that you can really make difficult. Like, yeah, you can come to me right now and be like, oh man, Cynthia was so hard. I'm like, yeah, Cynthia was hard when you were a kid, and she had a really good team for a champion. You know, she had Garchomp, Togekiss, Lucario, Gastrodon, Spiritomb. She had an amazing team. I think she's probably got the strongest team, period, for a champion. And that's why she was hard. And you know, she had good type coverage and all this other stuff. Nowadays, it's not hard because you know what to prepare for. You know Garchomp is 4 times weak to ice. You just got to get an ice type in there. You know, maybe have a Weavile in your team. I don't think the experience share being, I guess, deep fried or baked into the game is what people are saying. I don't think the experience share being baked into the game is gonna take away from the difficulty or make it easier or whatever. I don't like, Pokemon difficulty is more just about what Pokemon you're using yourself, because yeah, they could absolutely have a level 100 champion, but then all that's forcing you to do is grind up to that champion's level, so that you can easily beat them easier. Like, how do you put difficulty into a Pokemon game once you know how to play Pokemon? And I also do want to put it out there, the experience share thing, I'm not defending Game Freak's, I guess, removal of the option to turn it off. I absolutely would prefer to be able to turn off the experience share. That it's never, you know, it's always a good thing to have options, but having the, you know, I like the experience share the way it is. I like the fact that it's, I guess, you know, baked into the game. I like the Let's Go experience share. I guess that's making it more like a traditional RPG, or most RPGs are, no, JRPGs are like that. So I mean, I guess that's cool and all. Experience share wise though, it would be nice to have an option, but I'm probably going to use the experience share any chance I get anyway, because I feel like not using it is a waste. Hell, actually, I'm playing through Let's Go Eevee right now, and my traded Alolan Golem on my team was getting a bit too over leveled, so I literally just took it off the team. That's all That's all it takes. But yeah, of course, I would prefer to be able to turn it off. Absolutely. Options are never a bad thing. But at the same time, you know, there's maybe a reason why they're not making it an option. Speaking of experience share, Scotty, my good man Scotty, says experience share always might mean big levels late game. I've always wanted a champion with a level 80 plus ace forever. That's another thing people aren't considering. I mean, whenever I say stuff like this, you're like, you know, I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe they're showing all the Kanto Gigantamax forms just so they're out of the way. And, you know, those are the ones that are going to get the most, I guess, hype because those are the most known Pokemon or whatever. Those are the ones that are going to drive the most sales. They're getting them out of the way, as well as, you know, just trying to promote the games as best as they can. And, you know, maybe they're leaving a lot of surprises for us in the games. And then people are like, oh, that's just such a positive way to look at it. You know, like, I'm just like, you know, maybe I could absolutely be wrong, but I like to look on the bright side as much as I can and be hopeful. I don't know, I don't think there's any, I mean, obviously I don't want to build my hopes up too much, but it's like, you know, you got to keep these possibilities in mind. Maybe the champion will be level 80 plus, or even I think a level 70 champion would be great, because I think Diantha is our highest level champion we've ever had. I think I could be wrong, but X and Y had some pretty big levels, and I would love a level 70, even level 8, like, you know, mid 70s. I think that would be a solid level for the champion, because, you know, the main games are about, I guess, 3/4 of the content. So having the champion be like level 75, and then, you know, the after game, you know, whatever, I think that would be good for me. And I really hope that yeah, I hope you're right. Hope permanent experience share means that there's going to be big levels late game. I would prefer it if we went until launch without seeing the final starter forms. Second stage might be a stretch, but with the less we know, the better. Absolutely. I would love to see the middle evolutions. Something that I didn't actually realize, and I think a lot of people don't realize, I think Sun and Moon has definitely spoiled us. Sun and Moon's final evolutions were the only time Game Freak have ever revealed the final evolutions for Pokemon, except from Blaziken. I think, I mean, I guess, I don't know if you want to include, I mean, I guess, I don't know, red and blue count, red, blue, and green count. I don't think they count at all, because the mascots of the game are the final evolutions. But Game Freak has never revealed the final evolutions before the game comes out, besides Blaziken and the Sun and Moon starters. And I think Sun and Moon's definitely spoiled people's, and yeah, I absolutely agree. I think final forms would be better. I think the only reason why Sun and Moon actually ended up getting their starters revealed was because of the fact that they were leaked really early on, which was ridiculous. Of course, though, I would love to see the second stages, just to get a little bit more of a taste as to where the evolution is going. I think another thing with Sun and Moon, I think the reason why Sun and Moon advertising was so overboard is because that was when Pokemon Go had just released, and when it was, you know, Pokemon, I guess, fever, if you want to call it that, was kind of, you know, at an all-time high again. Pokemon had just become the most popular thing in the world again. You know, it had a resurgence, so they were like, yo, Pokemon content, look at all this new stuff that we have, look at all this new Pokemon that we've got, you know. Like, I think that's why Pokemon Sun and Moon was overboard with advertising, and it definitely spoiled us a bit, because people are always disappointed by the Sword and Shield trailers, and I'm like, bruh, the game, this doesn't mean the game has lack of content, it means they are not showing everything because they want the games to be surprising. And I think that would be better. I think it'll be better for them in the long run. I think fans are going to appreciate it a lot more, not knowing what's going on. Game Freak supporting old mons, giving Gen 1ers stuff like Megas, Z-moves, and items is totally justified to keep old Pokemon fresh and to keep them balanced in power creep of competitive Pokemon, and is not exclusively meant to bring back Gen 1ers or to increase sales. I appreciate what you're trying to do here, and I think you are kind of making a point, but Gen 2 Pokemon really need some help also. There are plenty of Gen 2 Pokemon that need reworks and need Galarian forms and Megas and all this other stuff. And yeah, Gen 2 Pokemon did. I think Gen 3 actually ended up getting the most Megas. But yeah, I think Gen 1 and 2 are kind of like in the same boat of like a lot of their Pokemon. I guess a lot of the Pokemon back then aren't as powerful as the ones now. And to be honest, they've actually been increasing stats on Pokemon for a while now. They increased Raichu's speed. I'm pretty sure they gave Dugtrio, and Dodrio. Pretty sure they gave Dodrio speed increases. They've given Farfetch'd multiple boosts in stats over the years. So I think they need to do that a bit more for Gen 2. There are a lot of terrible Gen 2 Pokemon that deserve a little bit more, maybe. Don't know. Whenever I look at Johto, I'm always just like, man, so many of these Pokemon suck. maybe that's just me. I mean, I know what you're saying here, and I get it, but I think Gen 2 needs some of that support also. Mainly, I guess, on the form aspect, like Alolan and Galarian forms, we've seen no Gen 2 Pokemon yet, and I'm hoping there are going to be Gen 2 Pokemon in there. Not just one. I would like several, like 5 or 6 at least. I don't know if I'm being greedy there, but come on, man, give Johto Mod some love. Daniel, I prefer HMs over Pokerides. I've been saying this for years. I don't like HMs like Defog. Defog, you use it once and that's it. Like, Defog is actually a good move competitively, but Defog, you use it once in one singular area and that is it. You don't even need to use it technically. I guess you can, I think you can maybe use it in Turnback Cave, I think. There's Flash as well. Flash also kind of sucks, but like, I prefer the idea of you and your Pokemon going through this journey together. I don't want to rent a Tauros or rent a Lapras. I want my water type to surf me around. I want my really strong Pokemon to push boulders and break them, and I want my sharp boys to cut down trees. I don't want to rent a Pokemon to cut down trees. Come on, man. Like, maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be HMs. I just think they should be smart. Like, oh, you've got a Scyther on your team? Yeah, Scyther can cut down trees. I just think it should be as simple as that. I don't think, like, I think Let's Go kind of had a right idea of, like, you know, if you've got Rapidash, you can ride on it. You've got Dodrio, you can ride on it. You know, if you've got Gyarados, you can ride on Gyarados in the water, stuff like that. I think they had the right idea with that, you know, your Pokemon carrying you through this adventure. I didn't really like that the main, you know, Pikachu and Eevee were the ones that did all the flying and the cutting and the surfing and all that stuff. But I generally like the idea of your Pokemon taking you through the adventure more than, oh, I rented a Tauros and the Tauros is going to smash rocks for me. Like, it's just lame. Don't like that at all. And I just think they should introduce a smart system. Like, there should just be a list of these Pokemon. Like, the list is just like, these are the Pokemon that can, I guess, move boulders. I don't know, guys. I looking at a Pokemon, it's like, yeah, you look like a Pokemon that could move boulders. You look pretty strong. It should just be obvious. The middle evolutions of starters are usually, if not always, the best part of the evolution line. As much as I want to agree with you, because most of the middle evolution, like, okay, I love Torracat, I love Quilava, I love Crocodile, I love Bayleaf, I love Ivysaur, I love Charmeleon. Wartortle's even really, really cool to me. Servine, no, not Servine. No, Gen 3, we have Grovyle. Grovyle's really cool. That's kind of it. Yeah, a lot of the middle evolutions are hit and miss. Braixen's awesome. Frogadier, not so much. Frogadier. And who else is there? Quilladin, not so much. It's like 50-50. Maybe not even that. So I wouldn't say usually always better, but there are a lot of solid middle evolutions that look better than final evolutions. I love Torracat so much. If more Let's Go games get made, they need to be $20, not $60, and they need to do away with timed battles in them. Matt. Okay, so where to begin? I will agree with you. Let's Go games are too expensive. $20 is way too little. $40 is a good number. I think $40 is the number that they should be. But of course, if Pokemon can sell a game for $60, they're gonna sell a game for $60 because they're Pokemon. They're gonna make it anyway. They're gonna make the money anyway. But yeah, no, absolutely. I think I would be well on board with Let's Go games existing at $40. Especially if they're gonna cut out all the other Pokemon. Like, if they released Let's Go Johto and it was only like Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon in those games or whatever, yeah, that needs to be a $40 game. Secondly, the timed battles, I actually really enjoyed them. I just think 5 minutes is a little bit too little time, because I've seen way too many people fail Shiny Mewtwo. And actually earlier today I was playing Let's Go Eevee and I completely forgot about the time limit, and I kind of just sat there talking to my friends on Discord as the time was depleting in a battle against Snorlax. Like, it's quite easy to do that, so I don't know, maybe there should be an easier way to pause the timer than just, you know, hit the home button. I don't know, if it's going to be a 5-minute timer, there needs to be a way so you can pause it and think, maybe. Don't know. But yeah, timed battles, they're a cool idea. I just think they need to make them, they weren't exactly hard, it's just, I don't know, people weren't prepared for them. Here's my hot take. I think Gigantamax Pokemon forms are lackluster at best. See, my things with Gigantamaxes is I think they're pretty sweet. I like the idea of a Pokemon going really big just for a couple turns. You know, it's traditional like Kaijin. I think that's what it's called. Kaiju. Kaiju refers to Japanese genre of films which feature giant monsters. Yeah, it's nice kaiju monster battles, and that's like something I think Pokemon were gonna have to touch on eventually. And I don't dislike them. I just feel sad knowing that is when Generation 8 comes around, they're not going to be there anymore. But also at the same time, I get it. You need a feature. This is actually, you know, this is a hot take that's, I guess, going to be spoken about more later on in the video. But I think every Pokemon game needs that something to have players go back and play. Like Gen 4, there was the Underground and the seals on Pokeballs. You know, I think every game needs its own unique feature to keep people coming back. Like, yeah, I know they're removing the features for future games. That sucks. But they are coming up with new features consistently. And I think the new features they're coming up with are just as good as what we've had before. And it keeps the other games, you know, it doesn't make the other games dated. It makes the other games have their own thing going on. And that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode of Debate 'Em All. I want to say a big fat thank you for everybody watching. I appreciate you very, very much. If you want to support me in any way, I've got the member button. I've got merch. I have merch. Links in the description for that. And you can like the video. Liking the video is free if you want to do that. We've got a G Fuel code. We've got a GT Omega code. I don't want to overwhelm you with stuff, but if you like what I do, the description has some stuff that you can help. You know, if you want to help the boy out financially, the description has some stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.